Good morning. Good to be with you again this morning. Um, just letting you know that we'll be building on our four pillars, the four pillars of a healthy Christian business leader. These are pillars that I have developed, and the first pillar is simply healthy relationships. The second one is biblical financial values, and then biblical spirituality, and the final one is balanced living. And so what I'm doing is every week I'm going to be focusing on one pillar. So this week the focus is on the first pillar, which is healthy relationships. And the overall theme is made for relationships. And so that's what the focus is this week, made for relationships. On Monday, we looked at the fact that you're made on purpose, for purpose, and that God has created each one of us for purpose. And the ultimate purpose is that we would glorify Him by how we live, by the things we do, by how we interact with people, and really through our relationships. Yesterday, we looked at the fact that we are of the animal kingdom, but we are not animals, and the fact that God made us unique and different from every other part of the creation, that everything else was just simply spoken into existence, but that God got His hands dirty in making us. And then today, our focus this morning is going to be on the fact that God is not enough. And I know that may sound weird for some of you, and some of you might think that now I'm teaching heresy or something like that. I'm not sure. But the point is that God is not enough. And God makes that very clear. Have you ever heard someone say things like, it's Jesus and me, that's all I need, just Jesus and me, or all I need is God, and that's it, I don't need anything else, just me and God. Well, when they say that, they actually make God a liar. And that's what I really want to get at this morning, is the fact that God Himself says that we need more than just Him. And sometimes people get what I would call like kind of a super spirituality, where they want to be just, you're down here and they're kind of like way up here, and you're down here, but they're because it's just them and God, and they don't need anybody, they don't need anything. And that's, to me, that's very concerning when people have that kind of an attitude. And here's really the big question I want to ask you this morning, and that is simply this: are you a loner? Are you one of those people that says, you know what, I don't need anybody, I'm good, just me, me and God, or even worse, just me on my own, I'm perfectly fine, I can do everything? Well, sometimes we can pride ourselves as being a self-made person, and that we don't need anybody. We can do it all. But you know what? The problem with that is that we're lying to ourselves. We literally are lying to ourselves, kidding ourselves, fooling ourselves. And if we succumb to that lie, it's only a matter of time. It's only a matter of time when either we will face burnout because we are so overworked and doing everything ourselves, and not allowing really anybody else to interact or be a part of what we're doing. And so we burn out, or we get to a point where we start making unhealthy lifestyle choices. We start getting into things that are just not good for us. Either we're working hours that are just unhealthy, and we're never taking time off. We're never taking time to actually wind down and actually have a break. And it physically just unhealthy, mentally unhealthy, and certainly spiritually, those kinds of things are unhealthy. And of course, there's other lifestyle choices that people make, often when they're in stress and under stress, because they don't know where to turn. And so that becomes, again, part of the reality of falling into that lie. Now, God wants us to put Him first. There's no question about that. The Bible is very clear on that. If you are a believer in Jesus Christ and seeking to live in obedience to God, then one of the first things we need to do is put Him first in our lives. And that's true, and God expects that of us. But He does not want us to neglect our healthy relationships. He wants us to, develop genuine, healthy human connections. And that is important. And so the encouragement this morning is really just that, to say, you know what, like, are you developing healthy relationships? Are you creating healthy relationships at home? What are your relationships at home like? Are they good? Are they healthy? Are they strong? Are you and your spouse connecting on a daily basis, on a regular basis? Are you, if you have children, are you and your children in a place where you have a good relationship with them? And do you know them? Do you know what they're doing? Do you know what they're up to? Have you built a healthy connection with them? With your brothers and sisters, with your aunts and uncles, with the extended family? Do you have good relations with your family at home? And of course, that's important. But if you're in business, the reality is, do you have healthy relationships at work? So oftentimes, if you're the boss, people are they're not sure that they can trust you. They're not sure that they want to come to you. They're maybe even a little bit afraid of you, and you might think that's healthy, but the reality is, we need to develop strong relationships with those who work for us. If you're working for a boss, what kind of relationship do you have? Is your relationship good? Are you trustworthy? And are you showing yourself trustworthy? And are you developing a good, strong relationship at work? Same thing at church. Again, I'm talking to Christian business leaders. And my question is what is your relationship with your pastor like? What is your relationship with the elders or deacons like? What is your relationship with, the person sitting down the row from you in church? Of course, right now, maybe because of COVID-19, there might not be too much of that. But what kind of relationship have you cultivated? And so these are, I think, very important questions when it comes to healthy relationships. God has made us for relationships. And again, this idea that all I need is just me and God. God himself said in Genesis chapter 2, verse 18, that is not true. You need more than just him. And we get that because when Adam is there and Adam is alone and God has not yet made Eve, and he is there on his own, and God has brought him all the animals, and the animals are all there, but there is no companion for him. And then God himself says, this is not good. And so we're going to talk more about that tomorrow. But I just wanted to really just drive that home. So are you creating healthy relationships at home and at work? And what are your relationships like at church? And then finally, do you have at least one good friend? At least one good friend. Somebody that can come to you and say, you know what? You really messed up here. Or come to you and celebrate the good things with you. But a good friend is not just someone who can come and celebrate with you when something good happens. That's great, but there's lots of people that will be happy to come and celebrate with you when something good has happened. But what about the person who has got the guts to say, hey, you know what? You need to smarten up here, or this isn't quite right, or I can't believe how you treated your wife, or I can't believe how you treated your husband, or I can't believe how you treated your coworker. We need that kind of a friend. And that's a good thing to have, a good relationship, someone who works into our lives. Well, today, as you go about your day, remember, God made you to need more than just him. He wants you to have healthy connections in this world. So may we love God and develop healthy relationships. Have a good day.